Hello, I'm Howard Coffin, and this is my 112 term project, a self-driving car simulation. So here in the main menu, we can see three different options. We can train the car, we can see how it works, and we can run the car. So this is just a little description of the algorithms in the car. I'll just talk about that in the video a little bit. We don't have to read that. So first we'll look at running the car. So this is just a randomly generated car. It's not too interesting. Obviously, we need to make it better. So we're going to have to train the car. So we have two options. We can train it ourselves or we can try to learn automatically. The way automatic learning works is through a genetic algorithm. Basically, the first generation is 50 random cars that have been generated by the program, and we're looking at the best car of those 50 when we try to run it. So we don't expect too much from this, maybe a little bit more driving than just the random car, but again, it's going off the road, it's not too great. So we're going to go back and we're going to try another generation. The next generation is made up of cars which have similar characteristics from the best cars of the last generation. So we expect it to improve on average, but since it is random in some aspects, we don't always get completely lucky. So we're just going to keep running a few generations until we get a pretty good car, and then we'll go back to running it. So if we keep running it, we expect to get better and better cars, and once it starts to learn, it really starts improving quite fast. So we get a distance of 546 this time. That's about twice as good as the last one, and we can see that it seems to be keeping on the center of the road pretty well. It's turning pretty smoothly. Drives a little bit jittery, but that's just the nature of the program. So it still goes off occasionally, and that's to be expected. It's not a perfect car, but that's about as good as we're going to get in a short amount of time. So the other way of training it is to train it ourselves. And in this part of the program, you drive the car for about 30 seconds to a minute, and the car will learn to drive itself using your instructions. So this uses a technique called backpropagation to teach the brain of the car how to drive. Okay, now we're going back. We're going to try running the car and see how it does. So the car seems to be doing a pretty good job of driving. It's kind of averaged my errors. So in general, it probably drives a little bit better than I do, in fact. We can see it's kind of staying close to one side. That's probably because I stayed a little bit close to one side on accident. But everything seems to be working. So now we can see how the car is working. We can show its brain. These dots on in like an oval shape in front of the car are the inputs for the car. So they're just a whole bunch of points that the car can see, whether they're on the path or off the path. It uses these inputs in a neural network, which we can see off to the bottom left side of the screen here. So these correspond to that half oval of inputs, sensory inputs, and these are turning left and right. So we can see when this one's on, then it's turning right, and when this one's on, it's turning left. This middle node or this middle layer is slightly more interesting. It's sort of like processing the sensory information. So if this were a human, this would be like uh, the five senses. This would be your brain, and this would be your motor reaction to whatever the senses were. And that's my project. Thanks for watching.